Happy New Year! Hope you all had a great holiday, as I did. But now we're back in business, and transfer windows are never easy here at Newport. Let's go to the video. Hello and welcome back to Rodney Parade, Newport, for Season 4 of The Road to Glory. Or maybe not. If you are a first-time visitor, may I tell you that we have set this channel up to help support research into chronic heart disease, which relies mostly on private donations and corporate donations. The most debilitating of all things that can happen to anybody. So help us to make a difference. Subscribe, watch, like and view, and help us to help others in the future. But first, some news. We did get invited to Hibs for a job interview. We didn't get it. I would have loved to have got it because they're a very progressive club looking to get into Europe big time. But we didn't get that job, unfortunately. But have a look at what's been happening here at Newport. So if we have a look at the squad, you can see immediately that we have a very, very small squad now, and we can barely put a bench together. And we have two injured players, one of whom is only 17 years old anyway. And we have two other players here who are just youth players and who had a particularly good pre-season, and they're just there sitting there trying to make numbers up at the moment. So we do need more players, otherwise we are in big, big trouble. We had to let 5 players go. We had to let the goalkeeper Day, Dolan, he left, Parker left, so many players left, and Sterry, he also went. We had to make money up for the wage budget, and we also had to get rid of players who were not up to scratch in this for this particular championship. And my thinking there was that's great. That will leave us a great deal of money in the wage budget, which we can now play with. But unfortunately, we had to upgrade some contracts. And Josh Pask, he wanted a new contract. Will Boyle wanted a new contract. And who else wanted a new contract? We had to renew Nick Townsend's contract as a backup goalkeeper. Amankwa, he needed a new contract upgrade. And Nyron Livermore wanted a new contract. And so by the time we had done all these new contracts, we were back at square one and still didn't have any players at the time. So in terms of the transfers, it's been a very, very quiet transfer window. Again, it's very difficult to get players to want to play for Newport. We did manage to extend Charlie McNeil's loan deal from Bournemouth, and that didn't cost us anything. And we got Hayden Hackney back on loan from Middlesbrough, but we had to pay £600 of his wages this time, but that's pretty much not a big deal. We let a lot of young players go. But if you look, we actually have, over the year, last year, made a small profit in terms of in and out of players. And that's pretty good, given that we don't get any money to play with. We have this year brought in Robbie Gotts, who is not the greatest player, but he's a utility player, and mostly he'll be able to help out when people are tired in midfield. He didn't cost us anything. He was free, came from Barrow, and he's just going to be in here as a utility player to use as we see, as and when is needed. And we did buy a goalkeeper, better than our previous goalkeeper Day, slightly better, and much less in terms of salary, which has pleased the board no end. I'm sure of that, yeah. And then we brought in Zach Swanson, who although he's only a 2.5 star at the moment, a 23-year-old, I think he's got great potential. He's a 5-star potential player. He's going to cover at left and right back because we are very short of full backs now. And I just have a funny feeling he might work out Although on the surface he doesn't look great, he might work out to be a very good signing for us this season and perhaps beyond. So we haven't really brought much in at all, and we've let even less go. And the totals are it's been a meaningless transfer window. But we have just made a bid for Logan Pye to bring him in on loan from Bournemouth. He's thinking about it. It won't cost us any money. And he's an aggressive fellow with a lot of pace, and he just might fit what we want to do here, and he'd be very good cover for Aaron Lewis at left back. So maybe all is not lost, because if we look at the finances, we still have pretty much all our transfer budget left, and we have about 1,400 in the kitty for the wage budget. Now, if we make an adjustment, then we can get around about £4,500 to play with. And so there is still hope to bring in other players as the final deadline day draws nearer. We cannot go into the season with just 18 players or 19 players. We're going to need to bring in at least another 2 before the transfer window closes shut on us. We're going to do our best, as we always do, but it's a very, very difficult thing to do here at Newport. In terms of our tactics, we made a big decision at the end of last season that we were not going to sit back anymore. We were not going to draw teams onto us. We've kept the shape the same, but we've gone much, much more positive and we're playing a very high line and a very high intensity, high tempo, high press game. That they've been training hard on endurance over the pre-season. There's been a lot of that, and we're going to keep them once a week on a Tuesday. They're going to be doing endurance training probably up until about mid-December. Hopefully then we'll develop their stamina a little bit better, and we won't have such a bad second half of the season as we did last year. So we do have a big game coming up. We have a game against Reading to open up, and the team for that game is Duhaney, Pask, Boyle and Swanson at the back, with Rogers in goal as a sweeper keeper. East, Hackney, Lakin and Sweeney in midfield, and Abraham up front with Charlie McNeil. And so let's get this game underway. And immediately Reading are on the front foot. And we haven't actually been able to scout or find out very much about Reading as it is the first game of the season. So we're going to have to keep an eye on what happens here. And that's what happens within the first 2.5 minutes. We are a goal behind, and well, there's not much we can work out from that, but it was a very, very simple little move. It really was poor defending, and they just passed it around the right-hand side of our penalty box, and Richards just popped it into the far corner. And that was really just a case of poor defending. So it's not the start I actually wanted to this new season. But, you know, there's... Oh, and Lakin, he wins the ball back. And he gives it to Hackney. Hackney over the top to Nuttall. Nuttall to McNeil, McNeil, he finds Duhaney. Duhaney, can you get it into the box? Duhaney gets in the box and Abraham heads it over the bar. So, this is good. We're creating chances. And we've actually created more chances than Reading have, which is it's kind of cool. And I'm just being told that I'll focus on set pieces because we do a lot of set piece work. That's paying off. So, yep, let's go for it. Let's play for a few more set pieces, see what happens. But here come Reading. It's 25 minutes gone, and Reading are still a goal to the good here at Newport. And that's a long ball out, but that's intercepted by Boyle. Boyle gives it to Sweeney, and Sweeney back to Boyle, who passes it back to Rogers. Now, what we want to try and avoid this year is no silly mistakes at the back when we're passing it out. Mistakes like that one by East, who just simply gifts the ball to Richards on the left, and he gives it out, and Levitt, and now it's back to Seema, who puts it into the box, and it is now, Clark has made it 2-0 to Reading. And this is perhaps an omen, perhaps the worst possible start that we could have had. And I think that they seem to be getting around us, around the wing area very, very easily, and we have to do something to try and stop that. We're going to have to look at our width, perhaps, and try and put an end to them getting down the flanks. But we're not going to panic for now. It's the first game of the season, and here comes, and that was a good ball, and it's cut out by Seema, and he just hammers it hopelessly up the pitch, and Pask picks it up. Pask finds East. Now don't give it away again. He finds Lakin to Sweeney, and this is good football, and that's a pass into the box. And I'm wondering, do we also have the line too high? Maybe we should bring our line of engagement back a little bit. Let's keep watching. Let's see what happens. And Swanson has been absolutely skinned there. And there's a cross, and he's in the... Why didn't he shoot? But still Reading come forward. And again, they're going down the flanks. And that's a good save. And cleared away by Dehaney. Here's Abraham. Abraham looking for a ball over the top. And yes, I think we are going to need to make some changes now. I think our line is too high. So we're going to bring that back a little bit. And we're actually probably in a couple of minutes I'm going to be thinking about just maybe trying to force them inside, to defend a little wider, because they are making a monkey of us on the outside. And there's another cross into the box, and yeah, it's time to do that, I think. So let's just force them inside, because they're getting far too much joy down those flanks. We still are keeping our own, though, and it's half-time. And I just want to say, you know, our XG is better. We're creating more chances, so let's go for it. You just need to finish a little bit better. And let's see if we can at least get back into this game and get something. We're going to make a change here. We're going to bring on Nuttall for McNeil, who's not had the greatest of games. Let's see if Nuttall can make a difference. And here come Newport, and it's Lakin. He finds Sweeney, who finds Swanson. Swanson, who are having to play as an inverted wing-back on that side. And here's a chance for Nuttall, and Lakin following up has put it in. Oh, my problems with Lakin. And he's gone and scored the first goal of the season. Isn't that just FM for you? It was actually McNeil. We haven't made the substitution yet. McNeil drove it into the goalkeeper, and Lakin just followed up and banged it into the corner. And so we are back in this game, surprisingly. So can we actually get something from this game? We are still holding our own. I actually think we do deserve something from this game, because we are more positive. We're creating chances. And there's another one, and Abraham at the near post fires ahead and narrowly wide. And so why not? Why can't we get something out of this game? That's what I'm thinking. And here we come again. And Boyle finds Lakin. East fires it out to Swanson. Swanson, can he bring it inside? That's a terrible pass again. Our passing game is really poor. And Reading tried to bring it out, but that's a great interception by Amankwa. Amankwa feeds Abraham, and that is a goal! Timmy Abraham has made it 2-2. Now, come on, lads. Let's go and win this game. Let's do that. Let's win this game. I'm a bit concerned that Boyle is having a terrible game. But if we can keep playing like this, we can go on and win this game. Abraham in the clear and fires it into the bottom corner. And it's Newport 2, Reading 2. And now it's a completely different game. And Boyle has actually picked up an injury. He's improved a little bit in terms of his rating, but not much. and he's now injured. Now I can't take him off, and I don't want to go down to 10 men, so he's going to have to suffer a little bit for a little while, for 4 or 5 minutes. Here's Hackney again. That's another poor pass by Hackney. But our press is working very, very well. We need to keep working on this, keep working on our stamina. And here's a chance for Abraham. Abraham could have won it. He could have won it there. And what a chance. And it's not over yet, but we are going to try and do something, because I don't want Boyle coming off, but we need to put Sweeney back in central defence so that we're not hampered at the back. And here come Reading, and it's Seamer. Seamer's had a very, very good game for them, and that's deflected off Boyle, and Amankwa brings it forward. And here's Sweeney. Sweeney's looking over the top for Abraham again, and that's easily defended. But Reading are shaken, and quite rightly so. And here comes Lakin again. Now, can he put Lakin driving forward? He's looking for Abraham, and Abraham, that's the second chance he's had to win this game. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, what a different start this could have been. And instead of being 3 or 4-2 up, we are still at 2-2. But I will take that. What a great comeback. But here come Reading. This game is not over yet. And there's a cross into the box and a free header that goes, whistles just over the crossbar. What a game. What a start to the season. And as there's 5 minutes of added time, and we have one more chance. Come on, Newport. East fires in the corner, and there's a chance. And it's fired over the bar. We've given a good account of ourselves, and maybe that is the way forward. It's full time. Newport 2, Reading 2. We didn't get the result we wanted, but we were very unlucky. And if we keep doing what we're doing, then this might not be the worst season. And we just might, by being much more positive, get something out of this season. We have Swansea coming up on Wednesday in the Carabao Cup first round. I'm not at all interested in that. And so we'll probably come back for the QPR game, which will be the second week of September, after the transfer window has finished, and we'll update you on what we've been able to do. We do need more players. But for now, that's the end of this video. And don't forget to support chronic heart disease. Subscribe, watch, like, and comment, and help us to try and help others who are afflicted by this terrible, terrible disease. And all that remains to be said now is we will see you in part 31.